So welcome back to my show. And can you tell everybody about yourself?
Yeah, of course. My name is Paul Fienga. I'm 27 years old. I'm an actor. I've been an actor in Europe for 6 years, and now recently I'm in Chicago. So it has definitely changed. I pretty much do everything, stage, screen, and so yeah. I've been in Chicago for a few days, so my chapter two of my acting career has started, and yeah, ready to go, and excited to get in there.
That's good. You officially moved to Chicago 100% for good, or are you just visiting?
No, so I'm in Chicago for a few months, but to make contacts, but yeah, definitely an end goal is to be here for yeah, a little bit, and who knows, maybe it'll be New York or LA, but for now, yeah, Chicago's the place I am. Yeah, for
That's
sure.
good. And what
Yeah.
attracted you to begin your acting career?
Well, pretty much, being a kid, loving movies, loving cartoons. I didn't watch a whole lot of TV shows. Well, animated series of the sort. But loving doing theater in school as a kid. And yeah, my passion for movies, my passion for storytelling, and yeah, I guess it caught up very, very early, and it just
Hmm.
never went away. And just very early on, that's the only thing I wanted to do. And I put my whole life, I dedicated my whole life you know, for this. And it has never went away since. And I don't think it will. And it's my true passion, and it's
Right.
what I'm best at for sure.
Well, of course, this is the passion for us to, be work together in entertainment industry, but we're also telling people a story. And, we love what we're doing, right? And if we're not telling people stories, then how can people know their story? So that's
That's true. That is true. Everybody's a storyteller.
right.
An actor, you act it out. As a singer, you sing it. You tell a story while singing it. Dancing, same thing. You tell a story while dancing it. And yeah, everything in the arts, you tell a story. Either if it's painting or you know, literally anything of the arts, you're a storyteller. So yeah, for sure,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's 100%, the singers tell their stories through the words, and it helps other people in the world. And then of course actors and actresses, we tell their stories as well. So um it's good to create movie and tell stories. It's amazing. It's a hundred
Absolutely.
percent.
Absolutely.
Are you doing any upcoming roles? What's your next project?
So I've had a pretty busy year with a lot of my projects. Done a couple of films. One called No Pain, No Battery came out in let's see, I think it came out in October. I did that with some friends. It was independent made, and then I did another one called The Roomies, which was a lot of fun, independent made as well. And then I did a spoof called The Hero with a question mark, and as well, independent made. And yeah, that one is finishing up in the editing room, and it should be out soon. A lot of those films are online, independent festivals, that kind of thing. Small budget, but they were a lot of fun to do for sure. And now in Chicago, pretty close of getting an agent, and it's going to be audition after audition after audition, and you know, hopefully landing some upcoming projects very soon. But I work on a lot of my own projects as well, while you're waiting, for sure. Friend of mine, I had an idea for a full feature film, and a friend of mine wrote the script. So I am definitely looking for some backers and some producers to finance it. Could be TV movie or independent movie, and for sure, you know, definitely looking for some people to, you know, give it a go. So that is in the works as well, and getting ideas for new
Hmm.
stuff for sure, for
Well,
sure. And Chicago's a great city for stage, so would love to get back into the theatrical community.
right.
And yeah, I really miss the stage. I really started on stage quite a lot. I did more stage than screen roles. Then I did a couple of screen roles, did a little bit of commercials, but yeah, I do miss the stage a lot. So hopefully, I can get back on stage very soon.
Well, I can't wait for all the projects that you're working on, and of course, the stage. Do you like theater or do you like on screen better?
I love both. They're so different, and I think I would say, well, they're both very hard because I think, well, theater, there's no second, third, fourth takes. You really have to get it
Hmm.
right in front of an audience, and it can be, a play can be an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. It really depends on what type of play you work on,
Right.
Shakespeare or Chekhov or Tennessee Williams or Sam Shepard. It really, really depends what you're working on. But it's great. It's really, really hard, but it's great. But the thing with screen acting that's really different from stage acting, and is equally as hard as well. There's way more money in screen acting than stage acting. So when you work on a TV show or a film, there's a lot of money going up very, very quickly. I think it's $1,000 a minute. So you need to be ready and you need to be prepared. Still, you can do multiple takes, but
Hmm.
there's a way more money involved and on the line than on stage. Stage, you have rehearsals, and there is less of a, oh, we're spending a lot of money issue than any film or TV shows that are being shot, or even commercials. So there is that bigger pressure of like, oh, we need this to be on the air or ready for this date. Stage as well, but it is less of a pressure than screen acting, I think. But having said that, stage acting, you really need to get it right when the audience is there.
Hmm.
It be perfect, and it's longer. The days for screen acting are longer. You can work 15 to 16 hours, but there's a lot of waiting, which can be tricky because you wait on your trailer for maybe 2 3 hours, and you're like, okay, and all of a sudden they need you, and the scene needs to be shot and perfect because everybody is, you know um, needs to be ready on the dot. There's a lot of money involved, and you need to be perfect right
Hmm.
away. So some people can slack off. Oh, I'm in my trailer. Oh, I'm going to relax. I'm not going to shoot my scene for 3 hours, but all of a sudden, the crew members who are fantastic, they work so hard. All of a sudden, you're going to have to shoot your big scene, your big close up an hour before that you were supposed to, and of the schedule, and you have to be ready all the time. So there's a lot of money, and of course in film acting, screen acting, your reputation really goes fast like that. So you really need to be good. Stage acting, of course, if you have a bad reputation, it sucks, but there's so many theater all over the world, and you can meet new people all the time. That screen acting, it's really a bubble. It's one thing, everybody knows each
Hmm.
other very much. So they're both great. They're both very hard, and they're both very different. I think watching, I think a film or TV show, I prefer it. Acting on stage is more fun. You can always do something new every night if you're doing a play or an improv show or a musical.
Hmm.
For example, you do the show a certain way on a Monday, and then you go home and you're like, okay, that went well, but I've got another idea for Tuesday. So you can always explore and go deeper into the story and the character you're playing and see how the audience responds to it. That film sometimes, you know, it's rare, but it's pretty much, you do it one way and that's it. And a lot of times you go home and you're like, oh, I wish I'd done it, you know, that way, that it just came up and it didn't, uh, the idea didn't came up when I was on set. So you're like, oh, too bad. Now it's like this forever, pretty much. And sometimes, a lot you do like maybe 5 takes, and out of 5 takes, you really enjoyed, for example, the fourth one you did, and they choose the first one, the one that you didn't like. So you have to watch the one that you didn't like, and you're like, oh, okay, well, you know, a lot of so it's they're both very different. But I think for me, it's just acting is acting, and I love it everywhere you do it. Pretty much,
Hmm.
you can. So it's very different wherever you do it. It's a good friend of mine is a singer, and I told her, would you prefer singing in the studio, in a recording studio, or you prefer singing on stage? And she pretty much said the same thing. In a recording studio, you can do it over and over again,
Right.
and they have to choose a different take, the one you didn't like. And on stage, you can do it different every night, but it needs to be perfect because I don't know how many people watching you, and you really, really can't screw up in front of people. Recording studios, you can do it over and over
Hmm.
again until
That's
people,
true.
the producers tell you, okay, the budget, we need one more take and that's it. We can't do 60 takes.
Right.
That's, but yeah, it's just the
100%.
art form. It's just the art form, pretty much the same as dancers. Dancers, they love dancing on stage, and I'm sure they love it when they're doing a music video or
Hmm.
something. That's the thing, every single art, all of the arts, they're kind of all similar.
Yeah.
Directing, acting,
100%.
dancing, singing, they're all the same. They're all the same.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. We're all the same, um,
Exactly.
so I personally, I know I'm not an actor, but I personally love being on camera the most. Um, that's just me. But again,
Of
stage is
course.
great. Now, you said you're in Chicago again,
Hmm.
and you're auditioning, and have Chicago film is, acting industries are really growing.
Oh yeah, a lot of movies are shot in Chicago, especially big, big stuff are shot in Chicago. Yeah, Chicago is a very big movie city. I'm not, well, I've only been here a few days. I'll have to look it up. Not sure that a lot of TV shows are shot there. I'm sure there are a few, but TV shows are really, really based in LA and
Hmm.
Atlanta. And Atlanta recently has been a very, very big city for, you know, film and TV show. A lot of Disney, Marvel stuff are shot in Chicago. Sorry, Atlanta. Movies, TV shows, Marvel, especially Marvel and Disney. They do a lot of their production in
Right.
Atlanta.
The one thing I
LA,
noticed about
yeah,
the film industry and the acting industry, they're spreading almost all the states to help.
it's crazy. Before it was really LA and New York,
Yeah. And
especially LA.
I think it's great that they're
I
expanding
love it.
to help local actors as well. to get potential to get into the industry,
Mhm.
and that's
Absolutely.
wonderful. LA
Yeah,
is the place
that's true.
still. LA
That
is
that is
the
very
place
true.
to make films and TV shows, but also Atlanta's doing it. Now Chicago's doing it. New York is doing it. So that's wonderful that they're expanding.
And yeah, and a lot of Texas is a state that has been popular for screen acting as well, but
Right.
a lot of American productions and big budget shows or films or projects altogether, they even do it in different countries. A lot of it is shot in London, Vancouver, and Toronto are
Mm-hmm.
very big cities. A lot of American TV shows and American movies are shot. A lot of them are shot in Canada and even in the UK. So it has
Right.
changed tremendously for sure. It's
Right.
great. Great. It's great.
Yeah,
I love
and you're totally right about Texas, and the film industry is growing there as well. So that's amazing. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
what can you tell the audience about yourself? Do you have any hidden talents? What's your favorite hobbies?
Oh, I love watching movies and TV shows when I'm not working. I love watching theater. I'm a big sports guy altogether, so any type of sport I love. Maybe not. I'm not too crazy about golf, but or cricket, but soccer, football, basketball, tennis is one of my favorite sports. I've watched it for years, and I've played
Hmm.
tennis for more than a decade. And I love martial arts. MMA is something I've been doing very seriously recently for a few years. I love it. Muay Thai and boxing. Boxing is a sport I absolutely love watching and doing. Um, Martial arts is something I love to do, and it's something I picked up very quickly, and I progressed quite quickly in these sports. I- I'll give a big credit to the teacher. If you have a good teacher, you can progress in anything for sure. But for me, I love them because they're great for um, if you're just having a bad day, they're great at just releasing the stress. And it's great for, you know, I think it's those types of, it's really that type of sport that helps you being the better version of yourself, being calm, being controlled,
Hmm.
being being in the zone, being aware of
Right.
what's going on.
Exercise,
Yeah,
pardon me, exercise is very important for our body and our soul,
absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely.
and it helps to release stress, but it helps you stay fit, but also
Mm.
it's good for your brain.
Oh my God.
Yes.
100%.
You can
100%.
exercise, go for a walk for 30 minutes or 40 minutes on a treadmill inside or outside, and you can tell your body is different.
100%. It really is the case of
Makes you happy.
yeah, it really does. Well, your body just needs movement, period. Even something I love doing when I'm not working or when my day is done, I love going for a walk. I don't know, I really don't know how long I'm going to walk, even if it's 5 minutes or 2 hours. It really, you're just, your body is moving and you're just, outside and
Right.
it's just your body needs movement altogether. It really is the case. But
Yes.
I also love working out. I love going to the gym. It's
Hmm.
hard sometimes. There are days you don't want to go. You want to stay on the couch. But no, I love moving my body and
100%.
yeah, for sure.
No, it's okay. I was agreeing with you because
Mm.
our bodies, our body's made to move. Can't just even though if you want to sit and relax, you want to go outside and exercise. 100%.
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
right. So I can't wait to find out more projects you're gonna do. And
Thank you.
the films that you've done, people can go on YouTube to watch it. How can people watch it?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel, Paul Fienga, it's there, and all of the projects I've done are there, so they can check it out, and it's a good it's a good watch for sure. It's I always try to work on fun projects that people will enjoy watching for sure. Yeah.
Right. And
Mhm.
what's your advice for someone who wants to break into acting?
Um, be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. Um, do it because you love to do it and you don't want to do anything else. And it's you have to, when you pursue an acting career, and especially any career in particular, um, it's kind of like uh, like imagine, I don't know, you become a parent,
Mm-hmm.
and that child of yours is the most important thing of your life, which is the case for many people, I hope. Um, well, acting, when you don't have kids and you're not married, it's kind of like having a child. It's the most important thing of your life, and it's the first thing you wake up is, you know, succeeding at what you want to do. And it's not just, acting, it's any career in general. It needs to be an obsession, and
Right.
it needs to be, you need to think about it all day, every day. And it's a whole life. It's not just a limited time. And if people do it just to, like, oh, I'll try it for 2 or 3 years and we'll see what happens, don't do it. You have to commit to it. Just, it's
Yeah, this is
something
the one
you're
thing
going to
about
do your whole
acting.
life.
You can't, one thing about acting, you can't be in it for 3 years. You have to be 100% in it because it's
Uh,
audition, 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 audition. You never know. You
yeah,
could get, and you never know. It could take 10 auditions and you may get that big role. So, it's
it
just
could take 1,000, it could take 100.
right, right. That's what I'm saying. So that's why it's a passion, just you gotta keep working as hard as you can, keep going, keep going, keep going. And that's, you know,
Absolutely. Something I've learned, I've been in this industry for what? I started when I was 19 years old, so I'm 27, almost 8 years, counting this autumn. So I've had a lot of rejections, but I was lucky enough to work. I'm not counting COVID, of course, because nobody did anything during COVID. But let's see. Surprisingly enough, I've worked quite a lot. I've worked on a lot of
hmm
stage shows, and I was lucky enough to be cast in a couple of screen films. I had a lot of rejections, but I did get a lot of work too. So, but I mean, sometimes you work for what, 8 months, no problem, and then you don't work for almost a year and a half. So it's like this.
right.
So you just have to pursue it in general. And even if I don't get roles, and sometimes I'm disappointed, it's I've learned to enjoy auditioning more and more, because it's showing people what I can do. They're
Mhm.
giving you a chance to do what you love to do, pretty much. And I know it's very important. You need the job, you need money, you need to get cast in this thing or this thing. Any artist feels that, musicians, actors, dancers. But if you're really, I don't know, if you're focused of like really landing the job, which is so important, especially casting directors, uh, they're going to see that.
Mhm.
And if you tell them, like, hey, I love what I do and I really worked hard 100% on this audition, and I think you're going to enjoy what I'm going to do. And if you show them, hey, I absolutely love doing this scene, and I loved, showing you what the character would look like if you would cast me. That's all you can do at the end of the day. And if you enjoy doing it, that really is the key. And you have to get excited every audition you get because it's potential work, but it's, hey, show us what you love to do. That's pretty much it. It's there's a lot of talented people out there that don't get it, that they don't have the choice to pursue what they want to do. They can't, or it's just, yeah. So I've learned along the way to stop complaining that, oh, I didn't get cast in this and cast in that. I can pursue a career I love to do, even if
Hmm.
sometimes I don't always succeed and don't always work, but at least you know it's I can consider myself lucky doing that career for sure. Yeah.
I totally agree with you. Yes,
Mhm.
that's the best advice you can give to anyone. One of the best advice, just you don't give up. Keep doing what you
Oh,
love doing. This is a passion, and um audition is it's fun, but it's you get turned down 1,000 times, maybe not, but just ignore it. Once you do an audition, just ignore it. And then if you get a call back, that's great. If you don't, it's okay. And you keep going in life. So, um,
yeah, people definitely forget to understand that, it's about the work at the end of the day. And sometimes, the most talented person in the room doesn't even get the job. I've
mhm,
A lot of times I've worked on productions, and I've auditioned, and I knew people who I auditioned for the exact same part, and they're way better actors than I am, and I got cast and they didn't, and I was like, how did that happen? And it's just that I fit more the role than them, according to the casting directors, and it was the exact same thing the other way around. I auditioned for stuff, and I knew people who were cast that I
mhm,
was better than them, but they fit more the part than me. So it's not
right.
always no, it's a choice at the end of the day. It's a choice. And sometimes, you watch movies or TV shows or plays, and you realize that that part that was cast wasn't the best choice, and it does happen. And sometimes it was the exact opposite. Sometimes it was the right choice, and you can't think of a different person playing that role than them. It's just, it's the game. It's the
Yeah,
game for sure.
it's
Yeah.
the truth, 100%, and but it's just like it's fun, but it's a hard work, but it's not a competition, but we're here to support each other in this entertainment industry, 100%. So, like again, Paul, I'm proud of you. You're in Chicago. Keep doing what you love doing, keep auditioning, keep doing it. I can't wait for your more upcoming roles that you have for you in this,
Hmm.
and your next role that you have. Sorry, my mind just got blank there. Sorry, but yeah, next role, and you've done some projects I noticed, and people can go on their YouTube to watch it, and it's just
Or give me a follow on Instagram. Everything I've done are in my Instagram as well. Pictures, reels, that kind of
hmm
thing. Yeah.
and
Give
that's
me a follow.
that's right. It's amazing. We are all here to do our best in the entertainment industry, but we're also here to tell people stories. It's very important to tell people stories. You never know whose story we're telling. Um, that's why, there's actors and actresses out there to show and tell people stories, what's happening in the world. Because if we
Hmm.
don't tell people stories, then nobody know their stories.
Absolutely. That's the thing. It's the entertainment industry, can you know can get overlooked. For sure. Nurses and cops and firefighters are have extremely important jobs and we feel safer with them. But the entertainment industry, it's I think it's very important because a lot of artists and entertainers can change people's lives. You know, they did when I was a kid. They changed my life, you know. And
Same
hopefully
here.
yeah, same for you and for everybody who is in this gigantic industry. Uh
And it's huge, you know, people don't
Huge.
they can't believe how huge the industry is. But it is a big, huge, gigantic
Humongous.
industry.
It's it's crazy. It's like if you look at the entire entertainment industry, I think maybe 20% of the people are shown. And then you have 80% of the people who work even harder than the people who are being filmed or seen or heard or acknowledged work even harder than those people. So it's a gigantic industry. The thing is, when you're watching a movie, you're like, oh, there were like what, 50 actors? Great. And I'm like, yes, there are 50 actors, but there are maybe 500 people who worked in the movie.
Right.
So, and those 450 people work harder and in a big way make the vision possible. And as an actor, I cannot, I do not exist if I do not have a good director, if I do not have good writers, if I don't have a good costume team, good cinematographers, good lighting. You know, the crew is what happens, and a lot of time they are extremely hard to replace. There are
Right.
very talented people who work very hard. Actors, you can replace actors no problem. There's so
Hmm.
many actors who are not working and who would like who are literally waiting for the phone to ring at any second of the day and who are ready to replace you. So yeah, it's not a problem, but you know, the whole crew who work really hard and who are not acknowledged or heard or seen or even appreciated, that's a whole other ball game. So something I've definitely learned from my great teachers when I was in drama school, you have to be nice to everybody and talk to everybody because if they're not there in the production, you do not exist. So it's a whole team. The entire entertainment industry is a whole team.
Yes, 100%. You know, yeah, you have to get along with everybody.
I'm
Support.
sure, yeah. And I'm sure you feel the exact same way about your team.
Yes, yeah, you know, you got to support everybody in this entertainment industry from, you know, especially from my end as a talk show host. I talk to other people who are talk show hosts, you know, I support them in this entertainment industry because it all comes down to as we're not competing against each other. We know we love what we're doing. We all have different ideas, different visions, but we all come together as a conclusion that we all have the same dream, the same passion. And that's what we love doing. And you know, and
Absolutely.
that's what it's about. So, especially like me, I love what I'm doing. I love I love having actors on my show. But it's not about me, it's about you guys, it's about all the actors and actresses and producers and directors that come on my show. Because if I don't have the actors and directors and producers and etc. on my show, then my show would not be going anywhere. So that's one thing. I tell people it's not about me, it's about you guys. It's all about everybody who comes on my
Hmm.
show. And because we all support each other in this entertainment industry. And that's very important for me, passion, supporting each other, and don't give up on your dreams. Can't give up on your dreams 100%.
100%. That's
So
the thing because you don't know how long it's going to take. You can do it for 5 years and not go anywhere and you quit. And if you didn't quit, 2 years later, you were going to get your big break. So you never know. You
yeah,
never.
that's
And
100.
the worst, yeah, that's the thing. And it's not the worst case scenario. It's more like, oh, but I have to wait an extra 3 years. I'm like, yes, it's good because you have another 3 years, will you get better? And then 3 years later, you're better than what you are now.
Right.
So it can't hurt.
Yeah, that's 100% true. 100%. I totally agree with you. So, for you, I can't wait for more projects, Paul. Um,
Thank you. Thank
you're,
you.
and I can't wait for your journey for you to tell the audience, and especially for you to tell me on my show next time. And of course, you're always welcome to back on my show.
Well, thank you. It's what, the second time we're talking to each other. I think we did one a few, what, 2 years ago, something like that.
Yes,
Around
this
it.
is your second time on my show. I think you came on my second season.
Oh wow, 6 years already. My God, you've been doing
Yes,
it for quite a while.
yes, it's been a while. I'm on my fifth season now, so it's maybe more than 2 years. So,
Maybe
um,
more. Yeah. I've seen your show has changed quite a lot. The whole setup, the whole background, and more people come to your show. You have more interviews. The production level has really went up. It looks even better. And yeah, for sure. And maybe the next time, it'll be in front of an audience, for sure.
well, right, I appreciate you. Yes, my show it's not about me again. It's about you guys.
Well, thank you, thank
And
you.
and
And yeah, a quick favor. Both interviews, can you put them on IMDb?
oh
I'm
yes,
I'm
yes, yes,
reworking on my IMDb page a lot, so yeah, for sure.
yes, I will do that for you. We will do that for you.
Oh,
And
thank you.
of course, like I said, you've been on my show 2 years ago. So,
Exactly.
um, it's now you're always welcome to come back anytime. Um,
Well, when I have a big project coming up, yeah, we can talk about it, and yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great for both of us.
yes, you're welcome. I appreciate you coming on my show, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Yeah, same here. Take care, and speak to you soon.
All right, talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. Have a good one.
You
Take
too.
care.